What is up and welcome back to the channel. If you're watching my previous videos, you'll know that we're converting this Clio 197 Cup into my track car. I did have a Clio 197 Meglio swap previously, but I stupidly sold it. So what we've done so far, we've given the car a full mechanical overhaul. We've done the belts and brakes, refreshed the gearbox with a new clutch and everything, limited slip diff. We've polybushed the bottom arms, and the car come with a couple of little bolt-ons as well, an exhaust, a manifold, nothing too tracky. It's got to a point now where on track the standard seats are just not holding it. I was getting really fatigued on my shoulders, and the seats like digging a little bit because the old foam has worn away, and you've got the metal bar which sort of digs in your side there. So I've gone and bought some Corbo Pro Sports. These are used. I didn't buy these new. I think they're about 300 quid a seat. But these did come with some bases as well. So the plan is to get them bolted in, and because we're going to be saving a bit of weight with them, I thought we may as well take a bit of weight out of the car. Now I'm not going silly with it. I'm not going to start cutting every single bracket off of that like I have in the past. I'm just going to take the rear interior out, carpets, things like that, and compare the weight difference. So before recording this bit, I went to a good friend of mine's, Matt, from the Circuit Drive YouTube channel. They do some fantastic track stuff and some mod stuff, and it's really good content. Go and check it out. I'll put the link in the description. So the car weighed off as standard with a full interior, and I think it was about half a tank of fuel at, I think it was 1239-ish, 1,239 kilos. Ignore the corner weights. The car wasn't fully leveled, so we're just looking at the total weight here. So the plan is to strip it all out, get the seats in, and at some point, maybe before the next track day, maybe after the next track day, we'll get weighed again and see how much weight the basic strip out is going to save us. If it's negligible, I might even put the interior back in. If it's a chunk of weight, then a lighter car, the better car. Faster in the corners, faster in the straights, faster in the brakes. So let's get to it. Any need for them to do that long? Right, so that's now the bulk of it out. You've got seats, you've got rear carpets, the Isofix bar, both front seats completely out, all the wiring unplugged. That will throw a light, so you can either bridge the appropriate wires, and I don't know which ones they are, you'll have to do your own research there, but that's a bit of a bodge in my eyes. So what I'm going to do is get it coded out so you can actually get somebody to plug into the standard ECU and tell the car it no longer has airbags in the front seats. It's not a big job, literally plug it in, 15 minutes. It's not as cheap a job, some places charge 20 quid, some places charge 50 quid. I don't know where I'm taking mine yet, so we'll see. But that's the bulk of that. So the plan is to remove this rear section of carpet. There's going to be no rear passengers, so there's no point in that being in. I do plan on leaving the front carpets in for now, because I need to leave the foam in there, which creates like flat floor. Otherwise you've got to invest in some floor plates, which which I'm not ready to invest in just yet. So we'll remove that. Don't know if that's got to come off to get that out. Remove the rear foam and go from there. Yeah, good under the armrest section, which is quite simple. Couple of torque screws, and back just lift up. What's up, darling? If you really want to.
Will it break?
No. Bit mucky, but it won't break. Got it?
Yeah.
Let me move my camera.
Can you save it because I don't want him getting dirty? He rips it.
Oh, money. Money!
Nice.
Oh, bloody well not.
Is that yours?
Yep.
When I found one, I'm going to get it.
Looking more like a race car.
Yeah.
I like you, you're an enabler, aren't you? You're an enabler. Some skin. Right, so it's getting there. So all the reason to that, I started pulling all this out here. That door cord out. But here's a fun fact, did you know the 197 Cup comes with no rear speakers? I didn't know that, but there we go, one less thing to remove. So yeah, I'm going to pull them plastics out. I don't know about the roof lining. I'm tempted to leave it in, or I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, pull this out, give the car a vacuum because it's absolutely disgusting under here. As you can see there. And bolt them funky seats in. So removing the interior is pretty simple. I took it outside out just to remind myself how it all goes. But all you need really is a 17 for your seat belts, little pry bar, and a T20 Torx bit. Speaker cover off, remove Torx bits. Undo the seat belt. Which is a strange little bar, like that. So like hooks in. You've got to undo it and get the right angle to get it back out. That's for the rear interior light. If you want to put it in, just need to get that, plug it back in and cable tie it somewhere. So it's all stripped, or as stripped as it's going to be. Get a clean out, nothing too extensive, just a bit of tied up to get to all bits and stuff, other than a couple of stray bolts here. That's as stripped as it's going to go. I also cable tied some of the spare cabling up in that light I was talking about. So that's all ready to go. So I'm going to bolt the seats in there, and that is where we're going to call it for this stage of lightweightness. Luckily, I mean, seats are normally a bit of a pain in the ass. Anyone who's done seats will tell you it's an absolute pain, because your runners bolt to your car and your seats never quite bolt, and the bolts are always a pain to get to. But luckily I bought these ones which have already been in the Clio, so they come with SW Motorsport bases, which hopefully fit, and the rails are already on them, and the seats are already on the rails. So other than getting this all height set for me, it should be good to go, hopefully. Oh, I need to transfer my seatbelt over as well. So, because I'm not going to harnesses, I'm retaining the standard 3-point seatbelt. I need to remove the seatbelts off of the old seats, which, tilt this sideways, that there just bolts there. That's the passenger one. The driver's one, I don't know if it's got a pre-tensioner in it. Let's have a look. Yeah, the driver's one's got a pre-tensioner in it as well. So we can unplug that, clip it off, whatever. But we'll get the seats in, get them seatbelts on, and hopefully that'll be good to test on track. It's one side in. So it's not fully bolted down, but the base is roughly bolted in. The runners are bolted to the seat base, the seats bolted to them. I've put it on second lowest at the back, highest at the front, which gives you a little bit of like lean back, which looks good. I've bolted the seatbelt to there and put the seatbelt through there onto the original rail, just there, which if you get in the car, feels pretty good, nice level. So it's as far down as I can get it without it starting to foul, and it's as far back as it is on the runners, so it will go further forward. But I'm pretty happy with that. Looks good. Nice low. So with the door shut, you're not load the bags of room for helmets and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good. Just need to bolt it in properly, and then mirror it onto the side. That's probably a bit more important. So what I've decided to do is cut all my bolts down, you know them too. Just cut them all down, as you can see by the little stubs of bolts everywhere. Because what was happening from the previous person who had these seats, it was bolted through the side mounts into the holes, and you could physically feel it poking through into the cushion. Obviously you just want it flush inside, so it'll not do that. So I've cut them all down. I can bolt it up now and get the seatbelt stub on. The seatbelt stubs do come with a little thing on the end that sort of like locates it. Obviously you don't need them on these seats, so I just whip that off and all. That's all bolted up. I'll show you what I mean by it can't get any lower. So although there is another hole, if you look there, you've not got enough clearance there. So that between holes you've got, I think it's 22mm hole spacing. You ain't dropping that 22mm, you're going to drop it 2mm max. The only way to get that down onto the next hole is if you bolted this further back maybe, or further forward, and then notched this out, because you ain't got, you've got like 10mm there. But yeah, it's all bolted together, ready to chuck in the car. So it's not bad, it's decent. Realistically I'd like to be like sat a little bit lower. Down onto the next doors would be probably better. Obviously it'll take a lot of modification to either the side mount setup, the runners, or the base. But it's not a bad point to start with. Too far back. That's not too bad. Just could do with steering wheel, closer now. Like sort of that angle. Maybe as it stands and knees just at it. Anyway, so yeah, happy with that. That's a little bit higher than ideal, but it'll hold you. Seats hold you. Just got to bolt the bases in properly, bolt the seatbelt rails in properly, and so we can call this chapter done. We'll go and get it weighed again. Realistically, the seats aren't massively lighter, not as lighter as I'd expected them to be. So this is just an ergonomics type hold you in. You're not going to be fighting with it as much. Remove rear interior. I'd like to think we've lost 40 kilos. Real life, I don't know. If we can get below 1200 kilos, so 38.5, 39 kilo loss, I'll be happy with that. I'd like to be lower. My leg height feels good. Like the angle, the one up. I'd like the whole thing to be an inch lower, would be nice. But what you can get is you can get something to replace all this. It's just a folded, it's like this side mount but taller, and it fixes your position so you've got no runners, which reduces weight because you haven't got a base, a runner and then a side mount. It's literally just a tall side mount, and they're about 5 kilos a side lighter. So it's definitely something we could do on the passenger side because that doesn't need to be adjustable. The drive side, is it worth keeping runners? In the last car, I swapped these standard bolts that hold the seats to the car for a normal hex head because we can stand up. Nope, we don't want to stand up yet. Because to get in there where the bolt is, I can't get a socket like set up in on my electric ratchet. The normal ratchet won't fit, so I've resorted to getting the T40 bit that fits in the bolts, a 10mm spanner. Could get a ratchet 10mm spanner, I suppose, but things you do to gain ecstasy. Right, so the seats are in. Look great. I did end up dropping the front of the seat down a notch, just to try and get my knees under the steering wheel a little bit better. The problem is when it's tilted up, my knees are like this. I'm quite tall, 6'2"-ish, so I do struggle. I like to have the rake back, which gives me a bit more leg room, but then it brings my knees higher. So I could do with, in theory, I could do with lifting the seat up a smidge on the front, and then bringing the steering wheel towards me, a bit more touring car-y. But we're all loaded up. But yeah, the seats are in, feel good. You know, they are a budget seat, so they're not going to be as comfortable as your Recaros and all that type of stuff, but they feel good. No complaints. I'm fairly confident I can drive it to the ring, but it's time to test it. So I've not had the car weighed again. I've not had a chance to get there before. I had a track day and some family stuff to do. But we're loaded up with all the spares. I've got my helmet and my trousers, because you're not allowed to go on track in shorts. But yeah, I've not weighed the car again. The plan is to track it and then go back and have it weighed. See if it's actually placebo. If it feels better on track and I go and get it weighed and it's 15 kilos, then it's all in your head, isn't it? But yeah, let's go on his way. I apologise now, I've done a terrible job of vlogging this track day, but I've got a bit of footage. I'll chuck it in for you to watch. So, track day went mint, absolutely mega day. I'm driving home, so nothing's broken so far. We're not home yet, but fingers crossed. Car were mint, performed faultlessly, brakes perfect, tyres acceptable for an F2R. The tyres have took a little bit of damage on the final session, pushed a little bit to try and keep up with my mate, and I've just destroyed a couple of little chunks here and there. So realistically, it could do with a set of tyres in front again. Being stripped out, there's no negatives to that at all. Lightweight's always good. So yeah, it's done really, really well. Really happy with how it's gone. We're driving home, that's the main thing. We had loads of fun chasing a mate of mine. He's got a B18 powered Civic EG. We had a really good day. Love track days with friends. It's not just about being on track, it's the social aspect. It's so much fun. If you've not tracked a Clio or whatever car you've got, get it on track. Mega cars. So I'm not going to wrap up the video yet because I need to get the car weighed again. So I'll chuck a bit of track footage in if you're interested in that. If not, skip to this time and we'll have the weigh-in. Catch you when I'm back on the scales. It's a couple of weeks later and we've had the car re-weighed. Just to reiterate what we've done, we've stripped the rear out, the rear seats, ISOFIX bar, rear plastics, rear carpets, and we've swapped the seats for these fixed back ones with bases and runners. So it's not the lightest it could be. Could easily get some more weight out of that. So we re-weighed the car with a half tank of fuel, the same as we weighed it last time, and it come back at 1,181 kilos. I don't know about you, but I think that's mint. I think losing nearly 60 kilos with a very basic strip out. Literally, we've just removed this here and swapped the seats out. Oh, the airbox as well, I suppose you could count that little bit of weight because that intake is lighter than the OEM one. But I think that is genuinely worth it, because if we go down and look into the front of the car, we've still got a lot of the comforts. So still got a full-size steering wheel, still got all the interior plastics at the front, still got the carpets, even the mat we're in, headliners in, still got OEM door cards with the armrest, electric windows, air conditioning, all that. And we've managed to get it down to 1,181 and change. So yeah, highly recommended. We can still get some more weight out of it quite easily. Strip the front carpets out, put some floor plates in, take a couple of plastics out, I suppose. Roof lining's a big one. Sound deadening. Swap these seat rails out for fixed ones. That could save 10 kilos by itself. The kicker will be a cage. So when I do eventually go for harnesses and a rear cage, that will add some weight back on. So probably just offsetting weight more than anything. So it's not its final weight, but I think that's a good example of how much weight you can take out with a basic strip. This video is probably getting a little bit on now, so I'm going to look to wrap it up. I hope this one's been entertaining or useful for you, and I will catch you on the next one.